Okay. All right. Thank you, Dad. Dad, let me know. Am I better? Am I better? Am I better? Let me know if I'm better. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Otha Brown, let me know if I'm better. Uh, I just want to know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me share the show again. Malcolm. Malcolm. Yes, you can hear me, Malcolm. I just want to know if you can hear me. I just want to know if you can hear me. Let me share the show with my groups. Is it still? Is it still? Let me see. Hold up. I want to share it to groups. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. I want to share it to them groups. Share now. Okay, here. Okay, I know it's much better. Thank you, thank you. So it done caught up. I don't know, y'all. Something happened, but guess what? We ain't gonna let it stop us, cause we got some things to do. Who is it? Hey, Sonya. I guess I was just waiting on Sonya to come on. You know this show ain't gonna act right if Sonya don't come on. Sonya, it was a snag. It was a delay that I have never heard a delay like that. I want to see how it sound, y'all. Give me a second. Can I hear how it sounds just a little bit? Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to get my thing back on the screen. I don't know if y'all noticed I labeled this one different than the first one. I labeled it different. Let me see how it sounds. Yeah, it's better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Now let's get cracking. Let's get cracking. Y'all, we had some. I went for 22 minutes and they just let me echo. I went echo and I would sound like one of those Chinese karate movies, my mouth moving and all of that. So we got that out the way. But I was talking about if you wasn't on the show earlier, a friend of mine, he popped up on the screen. He loved the Knicks. He's from New York, and I love New York. My son lives there. I love visiting the city, but those fans are terrible. It was terrible, Mike, and because I can imagine being in a situation like this. That's why when I go on the road, if I go to a road game, I'm trying to not have on if you try, especially you go to Philly in Oakland, don't show up with nobody else's gear on. It ain't that you talking about, man, I can show up. No, it's just these folks crazy. And they have no, I mean, they're fanatics about this thing. And I showed this earlier on the first clip. I'm gonna come back again. Y'all share the show again. Because this kind of got to me.
She's trying to save the day. Oh shit. Yo. Nah.
And you know what's a bigger problem? The people videoing, because that eggs the damn people on. Everybody got their camera out. Oh, I told y'all, I get sick of y'all and these cameras. You can't go eat without videoing. You can't go eat without, I mean, we tried to walk in a restaurant one time, but right there, I guess it's a nice little area right there by the bar. A bunch of little old, just posted up taking pictures. Don't care about nobody else in the building. Don't care about they holding up the area here. But then Brian Windhorst just doing his job. Listen to this. The man just said he's about to walk this hotel. He'll be all right. Watch this. Hold on. Watch this.
Thanks to Jackson and Zach, our producers, who came here to the garden tonight and are going out into humanity. I'm just walking to my hotel. I'll be fine. Thank you to Bontemps as well. We'll talk to you in a couple days.
A few moments later.
How do you feel about Boston losing? I don't give a fuck! This is 6, pussy! Suck all that shit now! Suck all that shit now! What you gotta say?
Thanks to Jack.
You have to call him out of his name? Just cause you ain't won nothing since 1973? What's wrong with these people, man? The Trumpers, the MAGAs, they all have this same thing. Oh, are y'all seeing this pattern? This overzealous, this zeal. They had to do with a bag of trash. I just showed it. I just showed that. Hold up, I didn't show it. I'm sorry. Watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, that's assault.
So she's trying to save the day. Oh shit. Yo.
That's bullying.
Nah.
That's
Nah.
That's how they in Jim Crow, they used to do us.
So she's trying to save the day.
We couldn't do that back.
Yo. Nah.
Very troubling. Share the show, y'all, because we're gonna have some real conversations today. I don't care if it's everywhere. I don't care. I'm not gonna pick up a bag of trash and throw it at somebody. That's only a damn fools do that. What's wrong with us? What's wrong with parents fighting at basketball games? What's wrong with, man, some coaches called me and said, man, these parents at the EYBL they just coaching from the sideline. Shut up. I know y'all got a lot invested in these little non-playing ass kids. Quit putting all your eggs in one basket. And I'm going to get back to that because I got to tell happy birthday to a very special man, Malcolm X, a.k.a. El-Haj Malik El-Shabazz. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the first book I've ever read from cover to cover. I mean, a real big novel with no pictures. You know, when I was young, we had to read them books. I volunteered. I read that book from cover to cover. The first book I ever read from the beginning to the end. It started me on my reading journey. Thank you, Alex Haley. But it's a tragedy that he was taken away from us so early in his life. But your spirit live on forever. I knew how cool you were with Adam Clayton Powell. I just left there. Y'all, who goes to New York and get on a train, go to Central Park, get on the train, and go all the way to Harlem? And I was singing the song, Drop Me Off in Harlem. I got some of the video my son was saying. I was just thinking about it, got dropped off in Harlem and got a chance to go and walk by and took pictures by the Adam Clayton Powell, him and Malcolm X. Adam Clayton Powell was the only Baptist preacher that would let a Muslim preacher preach at his synagogue. Excuse me, preach at his church. And I was just thinking about going down Malcolm X Boulevard, then Adams Clay Powell Boulevard. Y'all, I was in heaven because I walked the streets. I walked the streets where these giants walked. That's all I was thinking about. Then I went to Abyssinia Baptist Church, who Adam Clay Powell was the pastor of. I had to go. Hold up, and I'm waiting to take a picture out in front of it, and these ladies just, I don't know what the hell they was doing. But happy birthday, man. Wow, great man. But let me get back. Summer basketball. After this last EYBL and all these people, y'all had that. Let me look, because I want to look. All you summer ball people, you've been playing all this basketball, right? But somebody was telling me about what they said. Trying to see where they started at. Oh yeah, I think I got it here. The EYBL was in Memphis. Adidas was in Omaha, Nebraska. Puma was in Wichita. Under Armour was in Ohio. New Balance was in Dallas. And people kept sending me the prices they were paying to go in the game. But I was wondering why they were sending them to me. I already know they're going to charge you. What you going to do about it? I'm doing something about it. I don't have to pay. And ain't going to pay. Because I don't value it. Now, but if that's your entertainment and that's what you value, pay that money. Whatever them folk tell you to pay it. Did I put it up there today? I ain't mad at them people. But the month in June, the summertime, would be a great time for skill development instead of 20 more games. June, if you care about your son, y'all got to realize the summer's going to be over quickly. Summer basketball, now it's time to learn. Y'all, you kind of know if you don't watch your kids play, if somebody been watching your kid, if you got your kid in the right program, somebody have evaluated and told them, dude, this is what you need to work on. The next time we come back out somewhere in July, people better see that you can do this. You can do this better. You can show up your weaknesses. And Leah, it wasn't just you. Leah, you ought to see how many. They were sending me stuff from everywhere, telling me how much it cost. She said, I asked for a discount and got one. Maybe you need to. Yeah, I was in New York, right? When I went to New York, they had the, what you call it? I got to think of it. What's this thing they had? Oh my God. Made hoops. So I go to me, my son, my partner, we go to the door, and the lady, because I'm in New York. He got in front of me. If I had led the charge, it probably would have been different. But he went up, and the lady was talking about $45, right? You couldn't buy a day pass. We ain't gonna go see but one game, and we got to pay $45, $50, something like that. All of us had the money. Man, I went and made a phone call. One phone call. Next thing you know, They was leading me up to a whole nother way. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't value it that much. That man said, scan the barcode. That showed it, showed it. But we got to be smarter. But we're gonna get to that in a minute. But I really want to talk about these Knicks because these obnoxious fans. But we're gonna get back to summer basketball in just a second. Because I got some things I want to share with y'all. The New York Knicks, y'all got to realize now, they last won an NBA title in 1973. Okay. The Indiana Pacers, y'all got to hear this. All these teams, there's 4 teams in the playoff. New York Knicks, Indiana Pacers won ABA titles in 1970, 1972, and 1973. They was cold with George McGinnis. They was cold. But they never won an NBA title, right? The Oklahoma City Thunder has never won a title since moving to Oklahoma in 2008. You follow me? The Minnesota Timberwolves have never won an NBA title as a franchise, period. You follow me? So it's going to be a happy fan base between these. This is why y'all ain't no LeBron, ain't no Steph, ain't no, and I am so excited to watch these games. It's unbelievable. I want to see who got next. Russell Westbrook, man, I've never seen somebody so talented that just don't know how to play basketball. And y'all, he's an MVP, he's a Hall of Famer. I ain't taking nothing away from it. But this man makes some of the most dumb, bone-headed plays that that high schoolers don't make. I mean, it's just, ladies and gentlemen, it's so bad. Every time this man get the ball, I try to fix. Is something gonna happen crazy? I'm just thinking about that. I don't know about y'all, but I just watched the game the other day, and now I see why the announcers, his own announcers, what were they at? What his name? Westbrook? His own announcers, man. When he got the ball, they was like, whoa, 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 whoa. They were scared. I'm trying to find it, y'all. Got so much stuff on this thing. Westbrook announcer. Westbrook announcer. I can't find it. I'm not gonna look too far. But the announcers was saying, whoa, like, get the ball away from me. It was crazy. But I'm gonna move on. I saw this picture I want to share with y'all. Just show you how life come at you fast. It's gonna come at you. It's gonna come at you fast. Watch this. Watch this now. Look at that picture. Imagine telling these 2 gentlemen 9 years ago, while they were grinding it in the G League, that they'd be headed to the NBA Western Conference Finals together one day. That's Mark Daigneault, the coach at OKC, and that's Caruso. What's his name? Alex Caruso? Caruso. Imagine. They in the G League. Caruso done been to the LA, the Chicago, and back at OKC, but he was on OKC's G League team, and Mark Daigneault was the coach. Could you imagine telling these two guys 10 years ago that they would be in there together? Absolutely, Lord. I mean, just think about that. Let me see. I have something else. Did anything happen over the weekend that y'all so pressed about before I get some? Hold up. Here it is right here. Man, some in Dallas. What's the P thing in Dallas? What's the P32 in Dallas? What's that? Oh, the P32. New Balance. $40 a day. For the weekend for adults, $90. For New Balance? It just said P32 here, man. It don't say no PX32. It said P32. Yo. Yeah, we finna talk about this. Hold on. I didn't put this picture on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, man, me and my son would have went and had one of the best dinners in the world. P32. Somewhere. We went to Roof Creek. We went somewhere. We went to Mastro's. Ain't no way in the damn world. Hold up. That ain't the only one I got. That ain't the only one I got. Let me find Miss Leah. Let me find her. I think that's, hold up. She had another one. Hold up. Did I say that? Let me say that. Y'all, I'm finna show y'all what y'all allowing these people to do. Well, I ain't allowing it because I ain't paying it. Where? Okay, here it is. I'm finna post this. $90 at NRG parking? Wait. Wait a minute. You talking about for the girls? Hold on. What's the name of this? Leah, what's the name of your people? Hold on. What's the name of your people, Leah? Hold on. Let me see what the name of yours is. This the Puma. Hold up, y'all. Let me put that one on the screen. I'm an equal opportunity Puma prices. Let me put that on the screen. Y'all, there's people saying they watching 12-year-old. No, that's the wrong one. People were watching 12-year-olds, little bitty babies, play and paying all this money. Hold on. Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that, man. What? In Wichita, Kansas. Unfreaking believable. I don't get it. That's what greed look like. Ladies and gentlemen, that ain't business. That's greed. It's greed. It's greed. Man, I wish I would give one of them clowns that much money. I wish I would. I wish my friends, is it greed or is it foolishness to keep paying it over and over and over again? Is it greed or is it foolishness? Which one is it? And plus tax. Shout out to Doug Jones. This man give a first grade A event and charge people $15 to get in. And these clowns. Y'all, I saw it with my own two eyes. I would listen. Y'all, I was in New York. Somebody said, man, I want you to come see somebody play. I said, okay. I got up to that place. All the guys with me, my son, all of us could have paid it at a whim. But we refused to do it. I made one phone call. And somebody took me outside, took me around, and took me in. I'm not paying that shit. I said, y'all want me to come in this one? See, y'all, your son is bringing value to the event. They are charging you to come see the talent. Your son is the talent. Your son with the rest of the guys. Like the NCAA. They used to, everybody get paid for your son filling the NRG stadium up, but your son don't get nothing. They get money now. Davida, thank you, baby. That's why I like women to be on here. Greed or foolishness to keep paying it over and over and over again. Teach his own. But y'all, these events ain't that great. And then they don't even have, then you have to pay for the feed. And Nike, everybody tell me, Nike said, okay, you don't have to pay for the feed. And Nike ain't charging people like that. It's so sad that it has come to a money grab. It's ridiculous. All these parents want to do is go see their little babies, man. But parents, you got to get smarter. Don't buy no hotel. Don't buy no car. Hey, little Johnny, you go up there. Parents, you better get your butt before y'all find out these teams and say, look here, man, I'm playing on this team. I'm not paying for this now. I'm paying to be on the team. I'm not paying to get into these places. Well, don't go to that place. Well, don't go there. None of them teams could have been at Doug Dozens this weekend. Because ain't no coaches saw your ass out there anyway. I know what it done turned into. Talking about it's a new hustle. People are on Reddit selling weekend access to Baller TV so parents can watch their babies play inside venues so they won't have to pay the entry fee. It's not about the kids, man. Don't y'all want, I don't want to hear this. It's not about the kids. It's not about the kids. I don't want to hear it. This can't be about your kid. Ain't no way in the world. I never forget it. I never forget it. I was letting, I can tell it now, Cedric Ward. He was working out, Rashid Suleiman, he worked out a lot of players. So we went for him to work out my son. Robin said, okay, it was good. He had fun. Him and Rashid and Kelly Oubre, we was in there working out. So I said, man, I got to go. He said, Dad, I'm hungry. Let's go. I said, man, I got to go to ATM because I got to take this man some money back. He said, Take him some money back to do what? This a 15-year-old boy, 15, 14. I said, I got to pay him for work. You pay him for that? Dad, you teach me better than him. Don't never give him no money no more. This is a 14, 15-year-old boy. Man, your kids don't understand. You done. Then I'm finding out sneaker teams. When did sneaker teams start busing kids 13, 14 out? Putting them in vans 13, 14 out. Sneaker teams. I'm not talking about independent teams. When did this happen? I had an independent team. They flew everywhere. You know why? Because I wanted the kids to travel like I travel. Not one time did we ever say, hey man, let's get in some vans and take our kids. Man, we got 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11". They don't need to be in there. Yo, if y'all ain't got it, don't do it. I thought the sneaker teams paid for the fly. What part of the game is this? Somebody just said, Rob, those pictures, prices are ridiculous. Absolutely. But listen, I don't mind no event planner offering a service. Man, let me turn this thing, dog. My son texted me, got a business idea. I ain't gonna even tell you. Y'all wouldn't believe when we talking about this, and y'all wouldn't believe when my son just texted me. He ain't watching the show. Y'all wouldn't even believe it. I ain't gonna even. I'm just trying to figure. Young Dolph said it best. He said, hold up. Somebody said, Young Dolph said, your price is too high. You need to cut it. Oh, that's Young Dolph. Your price is too high. You need to cut it. I didn't know. That ain't Young Dolph, is it? Yo, let's talk about this. Y'all, no. Let's be smarter about this. Money grabbing. Colleges don't want any of these. Yes. Man, y'all could have saved that money and been at Doug Dozens. And Doug was going to tell every coach about how good your son was. I talked to Penny. Penny, if you wasn't in the ESPN top 60, 50, he wasn't looking at you. So why you flying your little butt all the way around here? I'm on so-and-so. I'm on so-and-so. I'm on so-and-so, so-and-so. And they traveling by a van. Somebody told me this last night. I said, dude, you lying to me. He said, no, man, I flew my son home. I said, what? That's too far. Come on, y'all. Yo, what are we doing? Jimmy, come on in here, man. Cause I mean, come on in. Come on in, man. Hold on, let me hit this button, cause these people said, see, Jimmy, what you don't understand.
What I miss?
What you don't understand, cause I know you ain't gonna be as sympathetic with it. I love my people. They love me. They gonna always say, Robert, this what's going on. Man, I got a phone full of this what's going on. And ain't nothing I can do about it. Y'all, I hate it. I'm a problem. Jimmy, what you said, one of the most valuable people in the world, a problem solver. I like to solve problems. But it's this fine line that I'm with greed and foolishness. To keep paying over and over and over and over. Jim, they send me this. Jimmy, They send me this mess, Jimmy. And hold up. This is the prices at the Puma. This is the prices at the. Hold up. This is the prices. I make it big. Don't worry about it.
Make them bigger.
That's the one. Hold up.
Okay.
This is the prices at wait a minute. One at Puma. One at Puma and one the one in Dallas. I don't know the damn names of that crap. The one in Dallas is New Balance. Jimmy, $90 for a weekend? Greed or foolishness? I know it's foolishness because I wouldn't have gave him up. Jimmy, Jimmy, I got to tell you the story. I'm at Made Hoops up there in New York. Somebody wanted me to come see their son. I came and saw their son, right? I get to the door. And that lady told me, I said, I just want to see one game. She said, it's $45 for that one game. You're going to have to buy this weekend. I said, you got to be out your rabbit ass mind. And I walked off and made a phone call. Next thing you know, people came and took me through a whole nother way. Because I wouldn't have paid. Jimmy, I'd have left. I wouldn't have saw the little boy. Glad I went in to see him. And Jimmy, I walked right in there after he played and left. Talked to him a little bit and left. Man, this stuff is greed or foolishness.
Oh man, I remember this topic used to make me so frowning mad.
No, it ain't making me mad.
This topic
Jimmy,
used to.
I just lived through it, Jimmy. A week ago, I was in New York.
It used to, but that's one time, man. That's one time. So that was your face to face. So
That's
every
my face to
weekend,
face.
some of these people having faces to faces.
No, Jimmy, that's second time. Hold on, second time. Because you remember I went to the Battle of the Border in Vegas. The border battle, whatever they call it, the border battle at Vegas. Guess what? Somebody said, Mr. Hatter, you come right. Because I wouldn't have went in, Jimmy, when I saw them prices. I said, dude, it's just that, Jimmy, it ain't that I don't want to pay. I don't value it that much.
But that's the whole thing, though. Okay, it's not really the same in what you just, your two encounters, what you just described.
Okay.
It's not the same. And I get it. Like I said, this topic, guys, if you're just hearing this for the first time on this show, I promise you, we have tackled this topic every single year, at least twice since the Chop Shop been on AM radio. Not to mention the FM 102.5 and then 10. What was the other station? 101.5?
Man, there's so many. We had so many 101s and 105s.
And that's what I'm saying. Like back then, I was on the. It was like it wasn't an epidemic, but you can smell it because I was warning people. These prices are gonna shot up if y'all don't do something about it. Here's what you can do: A, B, or C. Laid out solutions for y'all. Now, what happens is, like I said, I had to study it and look back on it. In 2016, those parents of those players that was maybe in the 9th grade, 10th grade, they're long gone through the grassroots process, many of those. So we were preaching to those people in a 4-year window from 2016. They could have been seniors right then. Some could have been juniors. So that means it could have been from 2016 to 2019 or 20. Then each year it goes up. We lose one batch of parents and the other ones come up. So I get it. And I get it. Then the pandemic came. Then for this stuff changed forever. A year and a half merging from there. What I say is different with you, Hatter, is because your two encounters did not involve your son or daughter playing on the other side of that table.
Absolutely.
I can only imagine.
Absolutely.
It's a whole different feeling for that family, especially that family that's on a budget, that is calculated and say, okay, we got this for this, we got this to this, this, and nobody had bothered to ask, how much is it going to cost for us to see little Johnny for the weekend? It costs one parent more than the hotel room is for one night on the weekend. A weekend pass costs as much or more than staying an extra day at the hotel. If you get the other parent in, it costs as much or more
That's
than
2
it
nights.
would for the other parent for to go and pay for the food for that day. Everybody ain't eating that steak 48 hours. We talking about the point that they're gonna eat breakfast in the hotel. You're gonna buy lunch and you're gonna get a dinner with a fork and knife. Maybe at one of those Chili's or somewhere. I don't know. But if you think about it, that hurts because now they have to make a business decision. You've already got there. And your son or your daughter don't know why you wasn't at the game. That ain't no good feeling. So
But Jimmy, I ain't talking about the feelings. I'm talking about on this show, we talk about solutions. First of all, don't they know they finna go somewhere? If you get on a team, don't they give you a schedule sometimes?
They don't tell you the prices, what it's gonna cost to get in.
But guess what, Jimmy? I've been telling people to ask the prices to get in these events.
That was part of the solution process. Yes. And guess what? Some of you parents, you need to start passing on more of the intel that you're getting, especially from the chop shop. And that's what happens. You're leaving these other people out to fend it out for themselves. But at the same time, they're laughing, man, I ain't gonna go listen to that, man. All they're gonna do is do this. But then on good intel day, like right now, why in the hell would you not share the show right now? Share it to some of those parents right now.
And Jimmy, you got to help me with this too, Jimmy, because I don't know. Maybe it changed. Jimmy, when I got off the phone with somebody last night, and they told me some people were driving from Houston, sneaker teams, driving
from Houston where? From what city to what city?
Outside Omaha,
Nebraska.
13th Howard Drive. A sneaker team?
Not the 17s though. I know you lying. Not the 17s. I know you lying. I know you lying. You say 13 hours.
17s. 17s. They juniors ain't got no more. They finna be seniors. Jimmy. They don't, Jimmy.
Let me make me a note on that. Let me make me a team.
Yeah. And I tell y'all, family.
Drove 17 hours.
13, they say. I think somebody told me 13 hours.
13.
That's too many.
And a 17 and under team. That makes a big difference. That's what I'm saying. 17 under team. Because the reason I say the age is because Adam,
the shoe companies pay for the 17 and under team.
No, I'm saying, I think the reason I say that and specify that is because I think that anybody that's been in grassroots basketball, that was in grassroots basketball anywhere from the 80s to the mid 2000s or the first decade into the millennium, that 20-year window from 1990 to 2010, and you were involved in AAU basketball, I'm thinking that you at least got in the car one time and either made the drive to or the kids did, to Orlando, Florida, maybe Tennessee to Murfreesboro or Nashville for AAU Nationals for those pipsqueaks, or even some people, in some cases, Las Vegas. It was just a fun drive to do one time for some people, and once you did it, you knew not to do that no more. Not that way. That's why I say the 17s. They have no business. I can see there was some young
people. Hold up, Jimmy. I didn't listen. Look what somebody just put on the screen.
Oh shit. It's hold on. 17s. I'm asking the question,
17s,
guys.
17s, Jimmy.
Oh shit. Well, I'll give a brief disclaimer on the one-time legends, in case you guys didn't know. They are on the major Adidas circuit and always have been, but it was kind of like the James Harden situation, whereas that Tracy McGrady, they don't get a check from Adidas. They're the only one of the sneaker team. And that was basically about they don't get a check. That's why it's so hard
Okay.
when you guys out there who's sending all those emails month after month and year after year. That team, our team, better than their team. Tracy McGrady is a lifetime Adidas figurehead. He's an ambassador for Adidas throughout his career. So they reward players like him some every now and then with a team, and you agree to pay for that team out of your own Adidas budget. That's what James Harden did. He did not get a check from Adidas. Part his way his Adidas contract was structured, that money, some of that money was earmarked over into his program. So now that doesn't defend. I'm just giving a discount.
Jimmy, I got a question. Because somebody said time is everything. Airline taking prices too high.
No, it's not.
Jimmy.
So why are you doing it? So why are you doing it?
Somebody told me this. See, I know for a fact, just by being around certain programs and listening, Jimmy, I found out it's one program that I ain't gonna give them no damn pub, but they do run their business. Shit, when the season over with, they done bought the tickets for next year. Cause Jimmy, they know they can change the names on the tickets.
Who that you talking about?
I ain't gonna tell. I ain't getting them no damn pub. I ain't getting them no damn pub. They bought the plane tickets for next year. And I saw that. So that's what I started doing with what? With the franchise. I knew where we was gonna go next year. So all I did is bought the tickets in advance. Cause you're dealing with kids. Them kids, you can change the tickets, Jimmy, when you got those group things.
If they under 18,
yes.
So like you can change those names.
Yes.
Without any fee.
So I'm just sitting there saying, maybe people just need to get exposed to stuff and talk to people who've been in this business a long time and figure this thing out. 17 and under team. But you just told me, Jimmy, if they don't have the sponsorship, then I understand. But guess what? The people got on the team because they thought what? It's a sponsored AAU program.
Yeah,
it is sponsored, but at what level?
Yes, you got some sneakers, you got uniforms, you got a chance to get in the room. And that's the thing.
No, James Harden didn't have it. Yeah, let me straighten that up right now. James Harden teams flew.
Yeah, they flew. They flew.
Even
and
the
not to say that, this not to say that T-Mac or one-time legends don't fly. They just did not fly, according to the reports or the intel. His 17 and under team did not. They drove from Houston to wherever the Adidas event was taking place this past weekend. And you say it's in Nebraska. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Coach.
Wow. I mean, it is what it is. Ada, and you know, let me give you another.
Give me another.
And this is not a disclaimer for T-Mac, the one-time legends. When Houston guys, we are labeled to the team as T-Mac because we try to simplify fractions. So when we say T-Mac, it's kind of like saying AAU. We're talking about not necessarily an AAU event, but a grassroots event. So the program one-time legends.
That ain't T-Mac no more?
Yes, I'm saying, but I'm saying T-Mac. People call the team T-Mac.
Okay.
But it's really the one-time legends. But I'm saying we use it as an acronym. We simplify fractions a lot down south. That's how we just do. We call things names. Now, a lot of times what goes into play for whether you're going to fly or drive, and this is the truth to this stuff. I've been on the other side of the curtain on this, and that is the success of your team leading up to a particular weekend. And if you got to make this investment and say that ones that didn't get the plane tickets in advance, who might just want to get them 3 weeks in advance, because 21 days is only the threshold for when the plane tickets balloon up. 21 days plus in advance. If you get it inside of there, the price is going to change. It's always been like that. It's going to change.
Right.
But there are some people that wait until the 22 days out and start trying to piece it together. if the team is in last place, or if you know the team ain't that good, I'm not going to scramble. Or when I say I'm not, a lot of teams have been known to say, "Hell, man, we just got to drive." In other words, teams
I know some of them too.
There's teams from Houston that's drove the Peach Jam before. There's team. Understand that ain't
The
17
Jam,
hours.
why would you wait a minute? Not a sneaker,
That's almost.
Jimmy. I ain't listen, y'all. Let's get this straight now. Let's get this straight. I'm not against a team traveling by Jimmy. Jimmy, we rented an RV because the kids just wanted to go. We went to Atlanta. We could have flew, but they said let's roll an RV. They enjoyed that better. Jimmy, we can pull up to the event in a big luxury event. We still had hotels.
Penny Hardaway drove around the country to most Nike events with his team when he was coaching grassroots basketball. He had those customized.
He drove them. Hold up, the young teams drove. The young teams drove. He flew. He flew their mamas in. He drove. He drive the mamas in on Mother's Day and have a bus just for all the mamas and they people to come in too. He did that kind of stuff. But I'm not against your driving. Driving is fun. But if you a sneaker sponsor team, if we go back to what I was saying in the beginning, I thought they get money for those events that fly their teams there. And maybe I'm wrong. I thought that's what the sponsorship package was for.
Well, he don't get, in this particular case, the team we're talking about, they don't.
Okay.
They don't get money.
Well, guess what? I understand it now.
Yeah, that's why I gave a disclaimer. They don't get money. So if I'm taking care of all this other stuff, then and got you on this platform, your baby on this platform, then you gotta tote your own note, or you gotta get it how you live. Now, once again, I'll say it again. If that team had been undefeated, there's no way in 9 hells that he would have let that team drive there. Guaranteed. If that team would have been undefeated going into the weekend, that plays a part.
Come on, man.
That's true. It plays a part. I've seen teams change their entire schedule, knowing that they wasn't going to qualify for Peace Jam, and all of a sudden now, you know what? We're gonna go to Dallas, or we'll play the GMI. We know we're not going to even go to play the secondary event, Nike event.
You're talking about the second. You're talking about the second.
No, if you don't qualify, then
when you said Peace Jam, I'm thinking the main event. When you said Peace Jam, but it's a whole lot of ancillary pieces other places goes on.
A few years up until now, Nike has gotten smarter, because what happened is only 16 teams made it. 24 teams made it in the Peace Jam. 6 times 4. Yeah. So that's how it used to be for years. Yeah. And then the other teams would just be cast off, like, do what you got to do.
Play at the convention center.
Well, no, this is before then. Happened. That was the first leg. And then what happened is those teams would start playing. They would start popping up, playing in Adidas events, Dinos with their events, with independent events, And so now that brand is gone, and if one of those other teams beat one of your team to non-qualifiers, then it makes case like, see, you're able to measure your platform ain't nothing, so that it became slightly embarrassing. So that's when Nike decided to start doing those secondary locations for those teams. So now that means everybody knows you need to make your travel arrangements to Peace Jam. And then in recent years, they stretched that damn thing out, had it to 2 weeks. Remember that? Stretched it out to a week. 2 weeks mean you got, by the time you get there, so like a week and a half, 10 days plus. They stretched that thing out in recent years.
Yeah,
that's
more hotel you got to pay for.
Most people got to fly into Atlanta, or you're gonna fly into South Carolina to go to the Peace Jam. That means you got to rent some things to get you there to Augusta, Georgia / Augusta, South Carolina. This Augusta, in case you guys never been, it's on the border. It's like Edinburgh to Texas to Mexico. It's half the town is on the border of is in half the town is in Georgia, half the town is in South Carolina.
South Carolina,
But they're
yeah.
actually two different cities.
Yeah.
They both are called Augusta. Two
Yeah.
different mayors.
Yeah.
Funny shit in the world.
Yeah, it's weird.
They are. So so when they start doing this, Al, that's an expense. Then people now, because you can't, and then the plane, their airport in Augusta, that's one of them crop dusters that come up in that thing.
Yeah.
So now you got to go, got to go fly.
It's not crop duster no more. They got a private, small, it's jets, but it be those private jets coming in there.
Yeah, but that's
had
only
so
for
many last couple of months ago at the Masters. I ain't never seen
But that's
it
for
like
the blessed right there.
Yeah.
Every other program is blessed enough they're gonna utilize.
No. I ain't talking about them. I ain't talking about. Ain't too many I ain't been hearing about that lately. I ain't been hearing no programs flying private no more.
There's some out there that still do, but they'll
find me one.
They're that's a dime a dozen. Now the thing is, once again, that's a very expensive trip because they are lacking in hotels. The Airbnb market has helped because I think I went there a few years back and went there. One of the teams and one of the coaches came pick me up from the hotel. I went and ate breakfast with one of the teams in Airbnb. Then that's the way. But at the same time, even the Airbnb market, no, you would have to be an imbecile to not realize that particular weekend these people are coming in town with these teams and you're going to raise the prices on the Airbnbs. So it's like one of those things you're basically in a chokehold if you're one of those grassroots programs. Now, Adam, somebody just put on there the 16s last year didn't do very well. They didn't play the last 2 sessions.
He was echoing what you said. He was echoing what you said.
People change their schedules all the time. I'm not going to spend that money.
That was JL3. He was talking about JL3.
That's JL. And guess what? You could see, and some people make decisions because you're not paying the money. You're not paying these dudes. Certain on the 17s, if you're a sneaker sponsor on the 17s, there are literally, I don't think, if there is one, call them out. You guys know. I don't think, and I'm hoping that there's no 17 and under sneaker sponsor program, meaning they get a check from the sneaker team. That's what I call sneaker sponsor. You guys can call it whatever you call them and identify all them other teams. Everybody doesn't want to call themselves sneaker sponsored till it's time to explain why they got to live in certain hotels and why they not playing certain teams and why they traveling a certain way or not traveling a certain way. Then they'll claim, then they want to tell you and break it down how they not really sponsored. But all through the rest of the year, the 9 months of the year, they telling everybody in the world. They going to churches in the back of the programs on announcements. They Miss Thelma giving honor to God and giving and this and that. Bless these little babies. They got to go Boogaloo Elite. They going out of town.
Jimmy, when the last time you been to church, man?
Oh, at the funeral?
No, I'm talking about the church.
That's a church? Hell, that's a service?
No, I'm talking about the church service, not
I was
no
at your
service.
church. I went to your church, Wheeler Avenue. When last time you been to Wheeler Avenue? When last time you been to Wheeler Avenue? I've been there before you've been there.
I go to another church now.
I was there, man. Wheeler Avenue, man.
But you know what? So you know what? Let me, because I know I love what you talk about. You are an expert on this stuff. But what I'm thinking about is, we got to come to agreement that preying on families' dreams has become the norm in youth sports. There's one way to stop it. It's one, yeah. It's one thing we can agree on. I hope everybody can agree. Preying on families' dreams. That's all you're doing.
Okay, preying on families'
dreams has become the norm in youth sports. I'm talking about all of them, baseball, every youth sport, right? When I think about this New Balance stirk, it just started. There's only one way to stop this. Don't go. Just don't go. And like I said, teams, parents need to ask before they attend. How much is the admission? Parents, y'all ain't got no excuse. And I don't want to hear about what people don't know. Man, who gonna incur them a massive cost that I saw on the Chop Shop the other day? That's why I keep telling people, share this show. It ain't for me and Jimmy. Let me repeat that. You ain't helping us. You're helping somebody else. So we need to ask, how much is attendance? One question. And you know what I was thinking about, Jimmy? Because people calling me from EYBL, because it's in my city, my nephews and them down there. And he said, Robert, he said, these the ignorantest ass parents in the world. He said, they out here arguing and fun and talking crazy to their kids and trying to coach from the stands in the EYBL, and every coach just watching them and man. Jimmy, somebody sent me, they said, one question I asked. But parents think they're falling behind if they don't, Jimmy, they falling behind if they don't attend the games. See, this dude was saying, he said, I used to get mad at programs and organizations, but if you keep giving a drug addict drugs, I know the program that's charged $100. He said $100 on top of their admission price. He was just sending me, he said, there is no model for all your parents. There's no model for success when you hollering from the stands. It's about your kid. Jimmy, I ain't never heard nobody talking about, Jimmy, what's that? Swing it. And to swing it, you want him to swing it to who? Your son. Parents, I'm going to help you. It's about your kid, but a parent cannot make a pro athlete. I've been around this thing. Jimmy, well, Joe Madison said, I've been around, Jack. The kid has to want it. Do me a favor and try asking them how they are doing rather than how they are playing. I wish I had to ask my son how he was doing more than how he was playing. But it's not about you, parents. It's about the kids. Jay Billis wrote this because somebody said your child's success or lack of success in sports does not indicate what kind of parent you are. I know some of these parents, because their son pretty good, they got their neck stuck out, they got their chest stuck out. Oh, that's I know what some of these pompous ass parents around here. I see them all the time. But your child's success or lack of success in sports does not indicate what kind of parent you are. But having an athlete that's coachable, respectful, a great teammate, mentally tough, resilient, and tries their best is the direct reflection on your parenting. I know y'all, some of y'all wouldn't even speak to some of these folks. I know one dude wouldn't be if he didn't have some kids that play, you wouldn't even know who he is. Because his identity is locked up because his son can play basketball. Or his daughter can play basketball. And y'all kiss their asses. Well, you don't have to pay. You don't have to, man. Parents, your child's success or lack of success in sports does not indicate what kind of parent you are. Somebody need to hear that because somebody just texted me and said thank you. But keep going, Jimmy. What else we got?
Yeah, man. So you guys understand solutions, man. So, and I think I'm froze right there a little bit. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good. I don't know why you're freezing. Oh, let me get some of this stuff off. Oh, there you back.
There we go. I'm back. And the solution process, guys. I understand the games because somebody text me and explain and say, well, we ask how much the price is, and the people will say they don't know what the prices are to get in these events. And that's a fight because a lot of the parents don't have direct access to the event directors. So and that's one thing about the chop shop. When we
So
understand
you said
stuff,
parents don't have access to the event director?
most parents don't have direct access to the event director.
Oh, the event. I'm sorry. You're right. Okay, got you.
So for them to know how much the prices is going to be, sometimes some events are better, more transparent than others. However, the coach has direct access to the event director. Once again, this comes down to you as parents. Most parents are in these chats, how to call group me or something like that. I've never been on one. You follow me?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's called something me, group me, text me, whatever group.
Yeah,
So
group,
many parents are on these texts.
Okay.
That means parents, you guys have the power to start galvanizing your thoughts and collective. You are the collective when it comes to your particular teams. You guys have the power to go and talk about that. That coach is in that group text with y'all. They watching if y'all, and when you start bringing up different topics, somebody gonna get a phone call. They ain't gonna reply in the text message. That coach gonna call you direct. Hey, why you stirring up mess? Why you doing that? Why you opening up? You come on now. You guys gotta understand. Make that coach. They can find out what the range is. The coach even has the power. And some coaches don't even know it. It depends on how good his team is, Adam. He has the power to say, hey man, I need a group rate. If the Houston Astros, if the tickets are just as much to go into the Astros or the Rockets game, then that means the Astros and Rockets have group rates. Then why not ask? Hey man, I got a question. I know nobody never asked you this before, but can I get a group rate for, let's say, 20 parents? We're going to pay you right now. Give us a group rate for a weekend pass. And know what'll happen? If that person means good, that event director, they're going to listen to you at least. They're going to think about it and may even comply. Because that's money on the wood. That's money before you even open the doors. That's money before the event even start.
Absolutely.
The airlines have group
how
rates.
How do you do these events like this?
It's more trickier. It's more trickier there with the sneaker.
But those the one that's doing the abnormal mounts.
I see that now. Then here's what you do then. Solution. That's what I'm saying. If one body about the chop shop, we can go and we can complain for a whole nother hour, going overtime. But if you ain't got no solutions, then this conversation don't mean diddly shit. You got to be able to so give some solutions. Here's what you got to do. The grassroots division is firmly aware of whatever the sneaker price is at their event. They're aware. However, corporate may not be aware. So that means you guys have to collective, you parents, somebody write one letter and pass it on to the other parents, and they all sign their name, and y'all copy and paste the letter, and we are displeased with this. This is a shame. And guess what happens? And send that to corporate. Give them the details of the event, the date, the venue, how much you had to pay. And it's a shame because I was going to use that money to go and buy. Here's what you got to add on that letter now. That was money that I was planning to purchase some of your product with that extra money. I bet you get a response once you CC all them emails addresses are in the corporate website. I promise you, contact us. Send that to them. Send that to as many emails as you can get and put them all in BCC them or CC them. You ain't got to, no, don't BC them. CC them all. And guess what? Then you've done your part as an informed consumer. That is a valuable solution when you're battling the entities or the powers that be, the sneaker brands. You let corporate know. At the worst case scenario, each one of you guys, they're gonna contact you parents, and they're gonna offer you a gift card or online code if you want to purchase some product. Because then for their time, they're gonna try to get you to buy something. Now I'm telling you how it's gonna go, but they're gonna give your ass a discount. You might even get some free stuff. They might even make sure that you come in free next time.
But then you're
I'm
still spending money.
But that's what they're gonna do though. I'm just
saying, but you still ain't saving no damn money though.
You ain't saving no money, but at least you got the win and made it to their attention, and it won't happen. It probably won't happen to that magnitude no more. It's gonna come with a cost.
Somebody sent me this the other day. I'm trying to see who sent it to me, and I'm trying to find out who sent it. I was going through my text and couldn't find it. But I wanted to share this with y'all. They said, Robert, unless your AAU team, they use AAU, has Division I prospects, you should not, in my opinion, ever be playing games 5.5 hours from your home state. The draw of circuits, along with the inability of coaches, parents, players to evaluate their own level, is actively hurting the recruitment of players. Should I repeat it? Huh? Should I repeat it? I'm going to repeat it because some people don't get it. Unless your summer team has Division I prospects, you should not, he just said in his opinion, ever be playing games 5+ hours from your home state. The draw of circuits, along with the inability of coaches, parents, players to evaluate their own level, is actively hurting the recruitment of players. You can't, y'all going 13 hours away. I sure wonder how many Division I prospects on that team.
You know what I think? It came to me, and I've got when I got in this different space. A lot of the coaches, remember, the coaches are making the schedule, or the event director, either or is who's making the schedule for these grassroots teams. We're talking about the independents now. We're talking about you guys who don't get a check. Because, no matter what you've been told in food, you realize you ain't a sponsored team now. Many of you. I think a lot of those guys, those coaches, I think that they so would like to be under the roof and want to just be able to have the opportunity to go watch some of the other teams that do get a check. That's one of the reasons they schedule their games so close or in the same city, knowing that the airline prices are ballooned because of that weekend. The airlines know. The hotels know. The visitors bureau know. The restaurants know. Everybody in those, especially those small ass towns. You guys, what you say, Nebraska, Wichita, Kansas, it's already a high ass flight up in those cities anyway. Ain't but one airport. And then you talking about maximizing the capacity of most of the hotel space in those particular towns. That's a home run. You guys.
Jimmy, and the guy was talking about, see, just to understand, I'm just not talking to people in Houston. He said, by his count, Robert, up in Indiana, there are 31 teams playing this live period that have a college level prospect from the state of Indiana. Only 7 of those 31 teams have Division I players. However, There are numerous of teams traveling well outside of their recruiting area to play games this weekend. When Division II, Division III NIA coaches aren't as likable or able budget-wise to travel over 5+ hours to see you play. And that's where you're going to wind up any damn way if you want to play college ball. Meanwhile, the coaches who might notice you 5 hours away from home are much less likely to even try to recruit you once they realize where you from. Wow. These folks ain't getting it.
Now, here's what I can give disclaimer. Indiana, DFW in Houston from year to year will probably have as many or more Division I's than the state of Indiana, the whole entire state. Either one of those cities. I ain't say DFW plus Greater Houston. I say either or, depending on from year to year. One of them will have probably as many or more than the entire state of Indiana. So that means their secondary kids are not good enough. And if you think I'm joking, this happens to be one of those years, Hatter, as I segue into this, that Greater Houston, our senior class, a rising class of rising seniors, meaning they're juniors right now, playing their last lap around the track in grassroots basketball. That means this was their first live period. The Houston, we have 7 real sneaker sponsored teams out of Greater Houston. That's just Greater Houston. 7. Adam, 7. They each got 5 starters on the team. Adam, that's 35 kids. 7 times 5, 35. Right? 7 and I'll give you the names. Houston Defenders, shout out to them. 17U. So 17U, they went 3-1. Of all of the 7 teams, there were only 1 team this past live period that came home with a winning record over the weekend. The Defenders went 3-1, right? Houston Hoops went 2-2. Coos Elite went 2-2. JL3 went 1-3.
Wait a minute, Houston Hoops did what?
They went 2-2.
Okay.
I mentioned Coos Elite went 2-2.
Okay.
JL3 went 1-3. T-Max One-Time Legends went 1-3. TJ Ford 0-4. Gulf Coast Blue Chips 0-4. That's a total of 9 for 19 between those.
But just because they losing don't mean they don't have good play.
No. Here's what I break this down.
Okay.
Of course, this is the most sneaker sponsored teams that Greater Houston has ever
had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're maximizing. We have maximized all of our talent, the options for our talent. That's what this means.
Okay, and they spread out.
Because they're all.
But we ain't maximize them then, Jimmy. We minimize them.
No, we're maximizing for the opportunities. That's what's being maximized. I'm sorry. You maximize the opportunities, meaning they have an option to go here, option to go there. Now you get your ass tore up, but you got the option. That's now. Here's what you wished for. And because in this area and DFW, I'm curious to know, somebody can put a post on the board, how many does DFW have this season? Sneaker sponsored programs. And we're
look what Miss Hughes just said.
Girl stuff. How many girls? How many? With Trey Phillips,
Chuck McGowan.
Or Chuck, they can let us know how many. I'm just curious. Let's get while we talking. Let's Title IX this combo so that the girls can get involved. Here's the thing. Yeah,
Okay, I'm texting.
I can't ever remember there a weekend where there has been. First of all, we got more than ever. I'll put it like this: only one sneaker team that had a winning record after 17U from out of Greater Houston. I can't remember the last time this happened. Only one that had a winning record after their main circuit. It's happened before. I'm just saying I can't remember the last time that only one had a winning record after the particular weekend on 17U. And that's not a very rare occurrence. So that means now it's a testament to a class that has been considered not very strong. Our class of 2026, that's what fills most of these slots on the 17U teams, is the class of 2026. We have none from the area, well, one that's maybe ranked in the top 60 in the country. If we got a second one, you guys let us know. I know one, I think Christian Gibson from out of the area. He's ranked on ESPN's top list. Well, normally your top guy is supposed to move the needle with his team. That means you got potency. That means whoever plays with you, you're going to make them all better. You're going to make them all increase their stock. You're going to get W's. That is not necessarily happening for Christian right now. He has time to turn it around. So that means everywhere that you go and you play, people are going to wonder, because some college coaches would think, they ask this a lot of times. College coach, when they're talking behind closed doors, they will ask a guy, can I win with him? That's code for me. They say, can I win with him?
Get what they asked me. Robert, you know me. Can he play for me?
That's another question people ask too. And they'll ask that. Coaches, college, we're talking about head coaches.
Head coach. Yeah, I'm talking about.
And when they say, can I win with him? I've learned to translate that over as code for me. Can I get a pay raise off of him? Can he make me some money? That's what I learned. I know it's different now, but that's what I learned. And guys, TJ Ford, 0-4. Gulf Coast Blue Chips this was 1 year ago when they were mistaken claim as one of the top 16 and under teams in the whole entire country. And you know what I said? I said all 16s don't translate over to 17.
Sure did say that.
It's an entirely different jungle when you get to those 17s, because it's just so different. I can't explain it. Just go ask somebody. It's different. And people think that 15s can translate over 16s. But somehow when you're talking about 16s and 17s, it just don't always, it can. It just don't always smoothly translate over. Because your kids would have to get stronger and better at the same level that some other kids are. And it's the last time you're seeing them. Plus, you have an X on your back. If you were great a summer ago, people see you coming. They're scouting for you on those sneaker circuits. They got synergy now, man.
What?
That stuff. They got all that stuff.
Yes.
They're actually those sneaker circuits. I'm talking about the real ones.
Yes.
They're actually scouting, guys. I'm not joking. I'm watching these guys. They actually have other coaches. Hell, your game can be at 12 o'clock.
Jimmy, they got scouting reports. Jimmy, they got scouts.
This is grassroots basketball. You know why? Because many of those coaches on the bench, they're either A, former college coaches, B, current non-Division I coaches, C, current high school coaches, or D, former NBA players or pros/pro. Those are the coaches that are on those teams. So these guys are trying to audition, some of them, in front of those D1 coaches.
But Jimmy, but why do I get this constant kickback when all I said is we got to develop our young kids so they can be better skilled basketball players? Because people telling Robert, y'all got talent, but they don't know how to play. Jimmy, Russell Westbrook is one of the talented ass people in the world. Talented basketball I've ever seen in my life. But Jimmy, he makes some plays that I know they didn't teach him when he was young. So now he just said, I got to play my game. I got to play my game. I'm going to make an ignorant play. And people just put up. Jimmy, all I've been saying is, when are we going to start developing our kids younger so when their talent shows, they'll have skills to back the talent. Talent and skills are special. We got a lot of guys. Jimmy, we got guys that's been in the NBA for 3 years, and I keep telling y'all don't understand. They still don't know how to set a proper pick. That's in the NBA, getting a check right now. But we will not, because I guess development, Jimmy, it's not, well, I'm not going to get on a plane to go develop. I might not be able to go in a hotel room and get in a hotel room on the road for free. I might not go to the gym. It might not be a whole lot of women in the gym. I don't know what's wrong with these guys, but that's where it starts. Chicago done took off with it. In the next 3-4 years, remember, I told y'all, Chicago going to be a more skilled place to play basketball. Because those guys listen to each other and said, let's do it. Here, I ain't got time. I ain't got time. And what you said the other day, you got to be the... This is about developing basketball players. Developing basketball. I hate to see what my son would have been if he didn't have a dad that said, man, I'm going to get you in the gym. We going to the gym. But everybody don't have a dad that know what the hell they doing. So we got talented players. They can run, they can jump, they can dunk, but they can't think. Because the skills that they need have to come early in their career. And then we wonder why. Like what Doug just said, the class is super average. They're not super skilled.
You say super average?
Yes. Super average means average as hell.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like super, like above average. Super
no,
average.
He said super average. In other words, average to the 10th degree. Hold up, okay. Average, not average better.
Okay, but here's the thing. And like a lot of times, I said this a year ago, but the only way out was because the Blue Chips, Gulf Coast Blue Chips 16 and under team a year ago, they were arguably the best 16 under team in Greater Houston. Well, now you go 17s. The only way you can get, but at the same time, those players aren't getting the high major real offers that normally a best team in Greater Houston would be getting, right? They're getting a lot of solicited offers. I mean, somebody solicited somebody to ask them to offer this kid to keep him a good soldier and the parents good parents in order to keep the ship flowing. You got to win. That's the only way that a team filled with non-high majors would have to win a whole lot, right?
But how they win? They don't know how to play. We put the cart before the horse.
The talent, sometimes, because it happens a lot, Adam. The talent, you just have enough talent.
You got to learn how to play if you want to go to college. The college coach is telling me, Robert, these kids don't even know how to compete. See, what y'all going to do is, Robert Hatter's not going to go out on a limb again for somebody, from some kids who could go out on a limb and say, okay, could he play for me? And I say yes. And you go, and the people trying to teach your ass how to play, and you leave after 1 year. I'm not doing that no more.
Well, that now you go. Now you get it. So that means now you know not to be so quick to say when they say, "Can he play for me?" You got to be able to pay attention.
Oh, I
You got to be able
paid
to pay
attention.
attention.
He was talented, but I didn't know about. He didn't want to play defense.
See,
But
see.
hold up.
So that's
but
what
hold up. Y'all had him ranked. He on the cover of your magazine.
they could be all of that. That don't mean a guy can go and play for different people. That's the thing.
Man, this
Hell,
I'm telling
we
you.
had one guy on the cover of the magazine that got kicked out of two programs.
Absolutely.
And guess what? And he's in a transfer portal right now, nowhere to go.
People-
He's in the front cover. And guess what? I will put his talent against any player right now.
But his skill, you talking about talent, but his skill level wasn't there. He was talented.
Oh, he still
But
is.
he
He still got a
wasn't
chance to
skillful.
get out the mud.
He didn't know when and where to do stuff. And guess what? When you playing against other guys that's just as talented as you, that's skillful, they gonna tear your head off every single time. I mean, that's what people don't understand. Y'all, I think y'all getting it confused. All I'm saying, these kids got to have skills. What my man up there in Dallas says, skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. I'm sitting there watching guys like what's that boy name? Kay Cunningham. How he can just come in and just know how to probe and don't let nobody. Because they been taught that. I ain't talking about from Dallas. I just talking to the brother. They been taught that. We just got y'all. We gonna get some some talented kids. We need somebody who know how to teach them the skills, the proper footwork, Where is our Tim Martin, the kid to be up in there training? I'm watching him where he trained them guys in Dallas. Where's the Houston's Tim Martin? And I'm sitting there saying, where are our people? We got the lab. We got we got what the number one pick in the draft. We got everything. We got kind of everything that Houston could really want. But somewhere, Jimmy, we missed a step. And to be the greatest, you can't miss a step. Hold up, Jimmy. You can't take the elevator. You got to take the stairs. We in Houston, we've been trying to take the elevator. We got to walk up, it's 2:00, but we got to walk up them stairs, man. I'm just telling you. I'm watching it. Jimmy, you talking to a dude that consumes a massive amount of basketball. And I'm sitting there, I'm saying, wait a minute. Jimmy, hold on. Right now, if I turn on my thing, if I go to my, what you call it? My Safari. Do y'all know what's open up my Safari right now? The EYBL. I've been watching these teams. I ain't watching them other people because I ain't finna pay. But Jimmy, I done watch everything, and I'm sitting there saying, that's what they missing? These little kids talented as hell now. They can run, they can jump, they can do, but they don't know how to do they don't know how to do the little things. They'll travel when they don't supposed to. They'll make a bad interest pass when they don't supposed to. It's just they bunch up on one side of the floor because ain't nobody taught them. That's all. That's all I'm saying. We just need guys.
And I leave with one thing. I get ready to close with another thing. I just had to get this off my.
Come on, get it off your chest.
You know, this is the point in time as an event director, and I laugh. Because people will use all different reasons why they play certain teams or don't play certain teams back in March, back early April. But man, we're gonna play this team here. We're gonna get ready for this team. And I'm like, well, let's see how this work out. You play this site, you don't want to play on this side of town, you want to play on this side of town, you want to play in this facility, you don't want to play here. Some people, oh man, we want to go to Dallas, we don't want to go play in. Well, at the end of the day, you could do whatever you chose to do. That proved this weekend, if it didn't do nothing else, it showed and proved it didn't matter who said we wasn't ready. We not gonna play in the spring icebreaker. That's too early. Your kids need rest. Your kids had 3-4 weeks of rest for the icebreaker. How did that shit work out when you went 0-4 now?
I thought the icebreaker was
Oh, 1 and
supposed to
3.
break the ice. That's what you named it, didn't it?
No, it used to, but that was a reason. Now people are using. See, you can use reasons and substitute them as excuses.
Okay.
You know,
Give me one reason when they said they didn't come to the icebreaker. Give me
I
one.
just said, man, the kids, man, they just played. Man, the season just ended last week. Man, they need another rest. They need to get some rest. Well, your kid wasn't in the state championship. The state championship was last weekend.
Yeah.
Ain't but one of your kids even played in the state semifinal. I'm just using an example. I'm just
not for real. That's good.
Using an example. So guess what? What the hell I got to do with y'all? Okay, well, how did it? When you were kicking ass 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago, how did that work out when you did? You made the state with 5 players and you still played an icebreaker.
But Jimmy, everybody have the same advantage or disadvantage in the icebreaker. Those kids.
Hey man, we know that. We know that.
Jimmy, they caught your homeboys. Jimmy, they caught your homeboy breaking out of jail in Louisiana. They caught all that.
No, have they? No.
Yeah.
They caught all of them?
Yeah. That was Jimmy. They caught one on IG, clowning on IG.
Say have they?
Huh?
That's a question. You say have they caught?
Oh, have they? Well, I know they caught another one the other night on IG. IG Live in there. IG Live, and they rode right up on it. I said, come here, buddy.
That got to be the stupidest shit in the world, man. You know what? They gonna laugh at his ass in that jailhouse. Hey, boy, what the hell were you thinking? He got on IG, and the other 2 knuckleheads gonna walk through the French Quarter. What the hell are you gonna do with the French Quarter right now? So buy a drink? That's the last thing to do right there with your money is buy a drink. But anyway, guys, you know what?
Jimmy, I don't believe y'all. And Jimmy, somebody had sent me this before you even put it up on the board. I didn't know Yuri had put this up talking about these teams.
Yeah.
But where his team at? Where his team at?
John, I don't know where his team was. Some of you guys, he's on one of them circuits. Ask him. I don't know how they did.
Well,
I do know one thing.
His team ain't on it. His team ain't on the list though. He didn't put his team on the list.
He didn't put his team on the list, huh? He mentioned all the sneaker sponsor teams who get a check, not the ones who go and throw the money around the horn to rally up for those how would I say it, those Ponzi schemes that you're putting on these kids and these teams nowadays. That's exactly what it is.
Jimmy,
and I get it. I've been in the room.
Jimmy, give me a quick before we get out of here, Jimmy. Forget the Ponzi. Give me a quick. Give me a quick. Are you saying we got enough talent in this city to go whoop some ass? Because you like to go whoop some ass.
Absolutely.
But if we got 107 teams, you have to disperse the different talent somewhere. It's not enough. It's not enough to furnish that many
supply for the demand.
Okay.
It's not enough supply for the demand. And think about it like this.
So it ain't no, Jimmy. This ain't, listen to me. And I won't get, because I know how people in Houston are. Because I know some people gonna get on here and gonna splice some stuff out we said. I'm just trying to find, because me personally, I'm just sitting here trying to find how, so it'll never be like it was, Jimmy, because just me looking at these people who run these teams, all of these people want to be the top dogs.
Yes.
They ain't going to relinquish their power. That's their power.
They're not going to turn it down. They're not going to turn down the opportunity. Turn it down. So that means what happens is, Howard, and sorry, Jacob, I gotta put this in there so we can. Come on. What happens is those sneaker companies. Okay. Somebody convinced them that there's a need to add another spot because it's like it wasn't like you. What you mean? You mean some sneaker teams call here and ask that, feel that, and not talk to you? No, not sneaker teams. I mean sneaker programs don't check in with you no more. What do you mean? From where? From talking about coming in from out of
Okay,
town?
you saying somebody has convinced the sneaker teams that it's more.
No, the sneaker, the sneaker brand.
Somebody has the sneaker brand. Somebody has told Nike. Somebody has told Puma. Somebody has told Adidas. Somebody. That's what you're saying. That and Adidas and none of these guys start to say, "Let me check in with."
No, what they no, but it's at first it was one. At first, it was one thing. At first, there was a need. We did have the supply. There was and it proved that we needed a second Nike team at one point in time, which JL3 proved that, because guess what? JL3 ain't never missed Peace Jam. They're on the verge of missing it this year.
Okay.
Hoops have probably only missed Peace Jam once in the past 25 years, in case you guys didn't know. Maybe, I think once in the last 25 years, Houston Hoops have missed Peace Jam.
Okay.
JL3 had never missed it.
Okay.
Right? So that means JL3 proved to be a worthy addition. Now, what happens is this. Adidas came along with James Harden. Remember, the Defenders was holding it down on the Under Armour. They had their run and they held it tight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
right.
Under Armour had a program,
so that's three.
A mainstay. So here's what happened. When James Harden came with their program, we was maxed out at that 3. Remember, because James Harden went 3 cycles of 7 teams and only had one Division I signee. Out of 3 sets of teams, 21 to 30 guys, maybe 2 tops that signed out of high school. I'm not talking what they did if they went to junior college. I'm just gonna say out of high school. So that lets us know that the talent was running thin. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. Other sneaker companies, like, of course, like Puma and New Balance, if they say, well, if we want to cut into these guys, Adidas, Under Armour, Nike, we need to put up a shop in Houston. We need to get some of that talent. Well, this is what they did. So then New Balance put up get a team in Houston. Puma get a team in Houston or 2. So now, in an attempt to cut into the talent base, well, you're cutting at a time when the cake ain't good. The pie ain't ready, Alan. That's the thing right now. You're cutting. This is the wrong holiday to be trying to cut into one of the cakes. So now what happens is those people somebody gonna get their ass fired, and then somebody gonna feel some kind of way, and they're gonna leave when they pull back and yank their sponsorship back, if and when. Then they're going to be mad, and they're gonna know what they're gonna say. Then it ain't shit down there in Houston, man. They have been blowing smoke all year, and that's not true. It just wasn't enough to stock no 7 damn sneaker sponsor teams.
I like that. Okay. Makes sense to me.
And I leave it like that. Leave it as that.
That makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense. You put it where the ghost can get it. Guess what, y'all?
So with that, man, shout out to Doug Jones, man. The Doug's dozen. It ended up being great event out here.
Hold up, before you do Doug, give us an update on Sandra. I saw her sharp as a dog walking out that house. Why she walking out the hospital in that outfit? Huh? She thought she looked like Beyonce walking up out of there.
I called her that. I said, "You gonna change clothes again, Beyonce?" She gave me that look like boy. Hey, man. I ain't never saw, dude. Sandra did not display no fear in this surgery. If you think about this, we talking about renal cancer. That's in your kidney. And they saying, man, this thing can either go this way or it can go that way. She was like, we ain't gonna even wait. Let's get this thing out of here.
Yeah.
Let's get this thing out of here.
Yeah.
And they went. Let me tell you something, Alan. I've been to MD Anderson a few times for other people's surgery. I've never been there from this side of the fence. MD Anderson is the most well-oiled machine of a hospital that I've ever seen in my life. Dude, they got people, they got volunteers, they got it is the most coordinated experience.
It's like a city within a city.
Dude, when they tell you they coming back, they coming back. Nurses check this and that. I mean, and I mean, just what? But as far as Sandra, she's healing right now. Got home, had to go back to the hospital
Okay.
for complications after the surgery.
Right.
Went back, and guess what? They put us in the doggone, in the IC or whatever, and getting all the tests. Run. The doctor say, "Don't worry, we're gonna go." They ran her straight back in there. She put her armband on. They ain't had to wait. She ain't had to wait in the lot. And she went. By the time I parked the car, she was upstairs in room number 8.
Right.
And I said, I hope they got a TV. Hope they got a TV. How the game got to come on in an hour. Hope they got a TV. And boy, we got there. We watched the TV, watched the game. I was good.
You didn't watch that? You didn't watch that?
No, I ain't watching that. You know what? I got to watch Texas get down. Texas showed. I shined. You know what? Alex Caruso and little Cason Wallace. But Sandra say, I know that kid from somewhere, Caruso. That name sounds familiar. I say, Sandy, he played in the Icebreaker when we played at League America. When League America had first opened up, when Max Ivan brought the ambassadors down there, they beat Houston Hoops with Snap Peters. And they beat the Hoops on that court. That was Alex Caruso. She's like, what? That surely is him. And we just sit there and talk basketball. It was good time. Got a chance to get, but she's doing great. Thanks for all you guys who checked in on her. And Nancy Road, and it's perfect time. And Alex, guess what? School is out in a week or two. So school is out. So it worked out perfectly for her getting taken care of and getting on top of this and knocking cancer clean out. So my live period was live. I don't know. My live period was live. I don't know how your live period was. You guys all have all these different experiences. Mine was live. I got to spend it out in the hospital almost every minute, come home, change clothes, a couple of nights, went on right back there. I was right there before they shut it down, and spent the night up in that joker, twice. So that was good in regard to thanks for everybody. But anyway, it is definitely time to slide on down Dino's back and yappa dabba do this thing. Remember, guys, the solutions, what you take away from this. Everybody around the country knows the problems in grassroots basketball and the prices and stuff. The solutions. If you tuned in late, go back and watch the show. In about 20 minutes, it'll be queued up. You can watch it and forward to the topic and get some of the solutions. Bounce those solutions off of people. And if they have pushback, bring that pushback to the chop shop. And then we'll show you how to basically call them to the square on what they're trying to sell you. And they could be very well telling you the truth, but we're going to let you know if they give you pushback on some of our possible solutions. But that's it for this Monday, man. Ain't no ball game today. NBA playoffs go back on tomorrow. Tomorrow we ran out of time. Certainly want to talk about this Caitlin Clark and WNBA stuff. We'll do that on tomorrow. No, I know you can't wait. Have you talked about it already?
No, I'm waiting on tomorrow.
I know you can't wait. This is going to be a good, fun topic, or we can just save it to Wednesday. Women Rock Wednesday, cue it up for Wednesday. A good topic for those.
Jim, I always remember, Jim, every day is Women Rock Wednesday on this show. Women rock every day on this show. If we get to talking about it tomorrow, because it's getting steam, but it's some more stuff. I want to talk. AJ Brown has some interesting things today. There's a lot of stuff going on, Jim, in this world, man.
We talk about everything except Diddy. Everything except Diddy.
Oh yeah. Oh, we need to talk about his ass too. But Jimmy, them Yankees, man. Them Yankees, man.
Oh, no. How about them Padres? How the Padres do this past weekend?
I'm gone, y'all. I see y'all tomorrow. Bye.
How the Padres do? Yeah, one job.
Hicks. Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live.